That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, "That don't sound right," send us a comment. You're one of us. Hey, this is Cecil. Instead of the normal hook for the show, I just want to make a special announcement. We hope to have a live broadcast from West Salem Public House on September 14th, if you can join us. Get there around 7:30 p.m., and we hope to start the broadcast at 8. Again, that's September 14th at West Salem Public House. Hope to see you there. Hey, welcome back to That Don't Sound Right. I'm Cecil.
Hey, and I'm Peter. We're back here in the TDSR recording studio. And
Neither one of us can say that.
And porch. In Camel City.
Neither one of us could say TDSR recording studios.
We've had to re-record that line.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always been me.
No, I've done it a couple times, but it's not as easy to say as you would think.
People are already saying that don't sound right.
That don't sound right. I am very interested in what you've got tonight because I cannot imagine where it's going to go.
Yeah,
help yourself to that. Oh.
Thank you. For some people, this might not be a surprise, but it certainly was a surprise for me. So I like most of America for the past 18 to 24 months have been working at home.
Yes.
All right, and I work basically in a sunroom, so I'm surrounded by windows, and it looks out my backyard, the North 40, as I like to call it, but it's like 40 square yards, not really acres.
The North 40's been mentioned before because you almost burn it down in a...
Yes, everyone knows, should be familiar with the burnt down North 40. Yeah, well, it's fully recovered. It's nice and green and lush. And so I have a yard area, nice area of grass, and then there's some woods, which I've preserved. Right. I haven't cut them down to make grass.
A riparian barrier,
if that's what you want to call it. I don't. I try to keep I let most of the weeds and small saplings. I let them grow up because in the summertime, it's a natural barrier. I can't see my backyard neighbor. Right. Which is fine with me. Right. Even if I could see the backyard, it'd be fine. But I really appreciate just looking out in the woods. Yeah. And it's been wonderful. Working from home, just to look out, stare at the grass, stare at the woods. Right. There's squirrels' nests up there. There birds fly into these trees. Right. Which we've also mentioned, these huge trees. Yes, right.
In this neighborhood.
That can cause legal problems for some of us. Right. Now, one of the things that is unusual about my house is I don't have a fence. Right. I don't own a dog. Yes. Which has been a point of contention, consternation, and calamity in my household. Yes. Especially when it comes to my kids. Yes. Because inevitably, everyone else has a dog. Right. Literally, everyone else has a dog. Including me. Including you. Yes. And neighbors have a dog. Yep. Friends have a dog. Right. Relatives have a dog. Right. Distant relatives have the dogs. Yes. Strangers have dogs. Yes. I don't have a dog. Yep. So I don't have a fence. True. My neighbor to my left, they have a big privacy fence. The people that used to live there, had a 125-pound husky running around. Oh, wow. So they had clearly a big fence to put up. Right. In fact, when they put that fence up, some of the neighbors were a little upset about that because it really did ruin the whole backyard area because now you've got this wall of wood. Right. My neighbors to the right, they have a picket fence. Actually, it's not. It's a split rail fence. Actually, okay. So it's very wide open. Right, you can crawl between the horizontal pieces of the fence. For the longest time, the people that lived there did not have a dog. The first neighbors did. The second one had cats, and then this next set of neighbors, they have a dog, but they put up an invisible fence. Okay. All right. And I come to find out that the prior owner in my house had an invisible fence. And the only reason I know that is sometimes when I'm digging in the backyard, I hit this bright orange wire. Right. I'm like, what's this? And I start pulling up, and it just rips up all around the yard. Right. So they had an invisible fence. Right. But as a result, they did not put a fence in the backyard. Right. So I don't have a fence in my backyard. Right. So what this means is that I have a wildlife superhighway going through my yard because there is nowhere other place to go. And across the street, down behind my neighbors, most of the neighbors don't have fences over there.
And it drops down to that green area.
There's a creek, and then there's a nice greenway, and there's actually basically a Salem Creek runs through there. So it's a long area, natural area. Yeah. And so it's a nature superhighway. I mean, the deer come in. Yeah. There's always squirrels moving through, raccoons. So I'm in my backyard. I'm in my back room doing some work. Actually, this might be a weekend. Okay. This might be a weekend, and the kids.
You've completely got my attention because I cannot imagine where you're going with this.
Can you imagine where I'm going with this?
No, I don't. I can't imagine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
No, I'm with you.
All y'all stay with me.
No, I am wrapped with attention.
So I'm sitting there with my two daughters. We're sitting there. We're probably watching TV in the back room. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, from the side of the house, these two women start walking by.
Through your yard?
Through my yard. And then they go up the slight incline into my big grassy area, and they're kind of looking around, and I'm thinking, this don't look right. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I need? Do I need to call the police? Is this... Right. So they both have fanny packs on. One of them has a walking stick. Wow. Like this is now I understand that I have a pretty nice thoroughfare, but this is not the Appalachian Trail. Right. Right? This is not going to be part of the Appalachian Trail series of podcasts. These are strangers in my backyard walking around. They keep going.
Through your backyard.
Through my backyard, into my woods. And they're looking around like, are they real estate agents or what's going on? They keep walking and they go to my back neighbor's backyard, and then they walk around my back neighbor's house. Now, I'll just say that my back neighbor's house has been empty for a while. Some new people bought it; they haven't moved in all the way, and so it's actually been empty for a while. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this is getting really sketchy, really quick. Right. So, I'm trying to decide what to do. All right. What would you do?
I would have gone out and seen what they were doing. I would have gone out and talked to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah. That's exactly what I did. I got out. But I did. Would you have thought about it? Would you have contemplated?
Unfortunately, for my own safety, I probably would not have.
Okay.
I tend to go out first and think about it later.
Yeah. So I'm thinking. Well, this is part of my thought process. Is they're just maybe they're just looking for maybe just walking through. Yeah. But that didn't make any sense. No. That just didn't make it. You just don't go hiking through someone's yard. I mean, you really just don't go hiking through people's yards these days.
Typically not, no.
Right. Right. And I don't recognize them.
Do you know could you tell where they came from?
My front yard. That's the only thing I knew. I mean, we did go look at the front yard. We didn't see any cars. Right. So, I don't know. I didn't know what they were doing. So I decide, okay, let's get my shoes on.
I feel like you're setting me up for a joke. This is almost like something I would set somebody up for. It's like this is like something I would pull.
Let's go ahead and you have some words of wisdom for us. Let's pause it there.
Words of wisdom?
Yeah, I'll resolve the story after the words of wisdom.
So the words of wisdom for tonight, because were dogs involved in this.
There are going to be dogs involved.
You did give me...
Stay tuned.
You did give me that heads up that there are dogs involved. And so the words of wisdom for tonight, or unsolicited advice for Emily, is if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes.
That's right. That's right. So it's better to be in the front.
It's better to be in the front.
Sit in the front of the bus, not in the back of the bus. Right. Lead the crowd, follow the crowd.
Lead the race.
That's right.
It's always better.
That's good advice, Cecil.
Yeah.
We might have also might want to address going after strangers in your backyard, because both these women had fanny packs. One of them had a big wooden walking stick. Right. I mean, they were really set up to go on a day hike.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, they were really set up to go on a day hike. I think one of them had a water bottle, snatched, attached to their belt or something. So I go looking for them, and in fact, I sent my daughters. I told them to go get in the van and go see if you can find where they're going. So they go get in the van, and they start driving, and they start looking. Right. And so I go walking, and I get to the front of my backyard's neighbor's house. So I go through their yard too, and then I see one of them kind of milling around the front yard of another house.
Huh.
Okay. So I just walk out to the driveway, and I just stand and I just start looking at her.
Right.
And eventually she sees me.
Right.
And she kind of, gives that awkward wave.
Right.
And then puts the hand up a little bit higher and says, "Oh, hi." And she starts walking over to me. Okay.
Right.
Well, let's see what's going on.
Yeah. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. So I said, "So, what you doing?"
In my yard.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to, didn't want to attack. I said, "What you doing?"
Right.
And apparently, she is a volunteer working with a dog tracker.
A dog tracker.
So, if for the listeners out there, Cecil's brow just completely curled and furled up. All his forehead wrinkles came into play.
Yeah.
Yes, a dog tracker. I said,
like a bounty hunter for dogs?
What do you? Yeah, it's not Dog the Bounty Hunter. It's just a dog tracker. It's a dog tracker. And what she does is she literally looks for lost dogs.
Like chipped dogs? Like dogs with microchips?
No, not even chipped dogs. Just dogs that are missing. Dogs that are lost. Dogs that have run away. Dogs that have lost their owners.
You're kidding me.
No, I had no idea this was a thing.
How does she do it?
Well, here's the thing. She wasn't there. I don't know where she went. She kind of, I guess she walked off.
Right.
I was talking to the volunteer that was working with her. But evidently she knows how to, call out to them and kind of figure out where they might have gone. And she said, the reason we went through your backyard is you don't have a fence.
So that would be a natural
That would be a natural
dog.
movement for this dog. And evidently the dog's poster was plastered all over our neighborhood.
Right.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
But
there has been one posted.
That's the dog.
Because it says, please take a picture of this dog and look for it.
Yes. So that was the dog tracker.
Huh.
And she had a picture of the dog.
Right.
And she had a phone number of the owner. And I said, well, why don't you give me that phone number and I'll be sure to call her when I find your dog.
Right.
Because I was still
Right.
thinking the ruse was very, very elaborate.
Right.
Because all of a sudden the real dog tracker disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know where she ended up. So I went to the volunteer who was walking with the dog tracker. So I ended up calling that number, and it was the owner, and she said, "Yeah, this is legit."
Really? So you called the dog
I called
owner.
that phone number, and she said, "Yeah, this is the dog. She's a dog tracker. I've hired her to find my dog."
I have never heard of a dog tracker.
Yeah.
That don't sound right.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
That is perfect TDSR fodder. I have never heard of that.
Now, the only thing I gotta think of is
I
that
have heard of dog psychiatrist and not heard of a dog tracker.
dog whisperer,
I've heard of dog whisperers.
dog trainer,
Dog trainer.
dog doctor.
All kinds of dog things. But I have
not a
a
dog
tracker.
tracker.
Not even a chip dog.
No, she was not using like any electronics to looking for this pooch. She was just using
like a
her
scout.
instinct. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she was getting down on the ground and sniffing, or I don't know what she was doing, but it still sounded a little sketchy. But I mean,
completely fascinated by
I wonder
this.
if she's being paid with Bitcoin.
You didn't reveal the depth of your Bitcoin involvement on the last episode, by the way.
That's right. So I do have some money in Ethereum.
Yeah.
At the advice of my father-in-law.
Dog tracker.
But yes, a dog tracker. So anyway, that's my story. Hopefully the listeners have heard of this and we're not in the minority and are going crazy. But
how do you get into that?
I would still say if you see some people that are dressed up like hikers going through your yard, looking in the corners and stuff, I still say you go check them out.
Oh, absolutely.
You still check them out.
Do they have? I wonder if the dog tracker, not the volunteer. Well, did the volunteer have any ID on him? Like, I'm a dog tracker on a lanyard?
No, she didn't. I didn't ask her for any.
I would think I'd want that around my neck in big, bold.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Because you're in people's yards.
Yeah, I mean that really is. Some people put no trespassing signs in their yards, and you really not supposed to go in there.
This sounds like a first world service.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, this sounds like something you've got to.
Yeah, I really love this dog.
Yeah. What? I mean, how do you become, like, now I've got so many questions. Like, how do you get into this? Mm-hmm. Is it sustainable? Like, for income? How do you know you're a dog tracker?
How do you know you're good at it?
How do you even get customers?
I'd like to know her track record.
Her tracking track record would be good.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, does she have, like, is she like Liam Neeson and she's got, like, a certain number of people she's rescued?
I don't know. Maybe she has a certain skill set that you do not want to mess with.
Do you know... I don't even... Is it just word... Like you said, is it word of mouth?
Right. I mean, well, it's not very good because you own a dog. Yeah. And you've never heard a dog tracker. Someone like me, I can appreciate not knowing about a dog tracker. I will likely never need it. But, you've had dogs run away, haven't you?
I only had one, and that was when I was little. But he was old and ran off to die.
Okay.
But, they have chip dogs now, and so...
Right.
But that's, you can't... I don't know that you can track a chip dog. Like, I don't know anybody that even tracks chip dogs. It's like if that dog shows up at a shelter... Yeah, they can scan them.
I don't think you can track them.
Right.
It's not like putting an air tag on them.
Right. It's not GPS.
No,
it's just an identifier.
Maybe that's coming. You can put that on the collar.
Yeah.
You should be able to put an air tag on the collar.
But you know how much low jack costs? It's because I thought about low jacking my car after it got stolen. And it's expensive.
Is it really?
And I can't imagine what it would be to low jack a dog.
You can put an air tag on it, though, I would think.
Yeah, but then I think you just have limited range. I feel like this has got to be like a 3 or 4 episode thing.
We're going deep. This might be a new series.
Oh my gosh.
We'll put this on there.
That is fascinating.
I'm glad I got you.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I love these episodes. When one of us has something there's no way we even heard of. I love it.
I know. But
this is right up there with serving beer at Cracker Barrel, I think.
It's right up there with serving beer at Cracker Barrel. It would be great to get her on here.
Maybe we'll try to find her.
We'll track the tracker.
Can we track the tracker?
Yeah. If anybody has used a dog tracker in the TDSR family,
or knows of someone who has,
you've got to write us and let us know.
This is gold, Jerry. Pure gold.
You've got to write us and tell us how this works.
So I think this may not sound right, but this might be the end of our episode before Cecil's head explodes right in front of my eyes.
I've got so many questions. Once we go off air, I've still got more questions about this.
We got more episodes to record. I know. We got to work on number 52.
I know. Y'all stay tuned because when 52 gets here, we think we got something for you for that one. But it's coming up pretty quick, by the way. We're running out of runway.
But you know what? In the meantime, stay curious.
And keep talking.